That's not real. Well, it kind of is. We'll get back to that. It's no surprise to anyone that Trump is freaking out at, well, everyone. After years of dodging the legal system at every level, Trump is finally in court at what should be the first of 4 criminal cases that could land him in jail for the rest of his skin tag existence. And he's not happy. One reason for Trump's frown is the judge has issued a gag order, so all Tiny Fingers can do is tweet on his dying platform called, ironically, Truth. Here's his latest mental spasm. This conflicted, Trump-hating judge won't let me respond to people that are on TV lying and spewing hate all day long. He's running roughshod over my lawyers and the legal system. The New York system of justice is being decimated by critics from all over the world. I want to speak, or at least be able to respond. Election interference, rigged, unconstitutional trial, take off the gag order. I love doing this. While Trump has been forced by the judge to attend the long process of jury selection, Donnie Indictable alternates between his get off my lawn glare and his dementia nods.
Yeah, I have to ask, you guys have been, at the Times, have been live blogging this event. And 40 minutes ago, you wrote an observation that I was very surprised. Trump appears to be sleeping. His head keeps dropping down and his mouth goes slack. Tell us about that.
Well, Jake, he appeared to be asleep, and repeatedly his head would fall down. There have been other moments in other trials, like the Agent Carroll trial, which was around the corner in January, where he appeared very still and seemed as if he might be sleeping, but then he would move. This time, he didn't pay attention to a note that his lawyer, Todd Blanche, passed him. His jaw kept falling on his chest, and his mouth kept going slack. Now, sometimes people do fall asleep during court proceedings, but it's notable given the intensity of this morning and a lot of what was being argued.
Yeah, that's rather surprising.
For the record, Trump's not bored. He's mentally ill, and in between lashing out and freaking out, his brain just cuts off.
Hi, what's up?
This trial is one of 4, and probably the most embarrassing for Tiny Fingers, as it contains intimate details about his penis.
Did you want to have sex with him?
No.
His grab you by the pussy comments, his former consigliere Mike Cohen, and, well, getting caught red-handed. But this current freak-out episode is about the judge's gag order, keeping Trump from attacking not the judge or prosecutors, but their families, witnesses, and potential jurors.
The plea is to take Trump seriously as he ratchets up and up and up and up and up the rhetoric. We're coming from far and wide today. From that statement we read you from the Biden campaign to prosecutors in New York. Ranting on Truth Social on Saturday evening, former president shared a link to a New York Post article about Lauren Mershon, who leads a political consulting firm that works with Democrats. In his post, Trump once again claimed without evidence that Lauren's political work was proof of her father, Judge Juan Mershon, being compromised and saying he should be removed from his case.
I mean, there have been threats.
I was in a parking lot going to a fitness class with my infant daughter. I was taking, the seats facing backwards in the back seat, diaper bag, getting all the stuff out. And a guy walked up on me and said to me, "Leave Trump alone, forget the story." And then he leaned around and looked at my daughter and said, a beautiful little girl, it'd be a shame if something happened to her mom. And then he was gone.
After Trump spent a good part of the week insulting the daughter of Justice Juan Mershon, who's the judge overseeing Trump's Manhattan criminal case, Mershon issued an expanded gag order barring Trump from attacking the judge's own family. Then Mershon expanded the gag to cover the family of the lead prosecutor, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Outside the courtroom, Trump's judges have faced consistent threats to their personal safety, including swatting calls directed at their homes and a racist voicemail threatening murder. This isn't new. After Trump was indicted last year by New York State for his role to pay hush money to Stormy Daniels, the threats started coming in. For example, a letter containing death threats and white powder was addressed to Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. And in February, the Justice Department reported an unprecedented rise in threats to public officials in general. But the most serious and pervasive threats seem to be against figures whom Trump constantly attacks on social media. But the gag orders have been tailored to not so much protect judges and prosecutors, but their families and potential witnesses and jurors. After the events of January 6th, it's obvious that Trump has control in the white supremacist and white nationalist movements.
White supremacy, that's the problem. This is a hoax.
Here's Trump at the beginning of his trial, making a case for his innocence, or more to the point, his insanity.
It's a trial that is being looked upon, looked at all over the world. They're looking at it and analyzing it. Every legal pundit, every legal scholar said this trial is a disgrace. We have a Trump-hating judge. We have a judge who shouldn't be on this case. He's totally conflicted. But this is a trial that should never happen. It should have been thrown out a long time ago. If you look at Jonathan Turley, Andy McCarthy, all great legal scholars.
Whoa, Jonathan Turley, a legal scholar? That's like calling these two Mensa alumni. Turley is a legal hack who called Trump's impeachments unconstitutional, even though impeachment is technically in the Constitution.
My personal views of President Trump are as irrelevant to my impeachment testimony as they should be to your impeachment vote.
There's not one that we've been able to find that said this should be a trial. I was paying a lawyer and marked it down as a legal expense. Some accountant, I didn't know, marked it down as a legal expense. That's exactly what it was. And you get indicted over that? I should be right now in Pennsylvania, in Florida, in many other states, North Carolina, Georgia, campaigning. This is all coming from the Biden White House.
All right, here we go again. Joe Biden and justice have no say here. To all you Trumpers with your junior high diplomas, this is a state trial, and the deep state has nothing to do here. Oh yeah, these charges weren't hiding on Hunter's laptop.
I want to know where Hunter Biden's laptop is.
They were brought forward by a grand jury of the citizens of New York. I mean, MAGA, they're people just like you. Well, that's not really fair. Okay, MAGA, imagine if you had a high school diploma and you weren't an avowed racist and wanted to tear our nation down, then they'd be just like you.
They're using this in order to try and win an election, and it's not working that way. It's working the opposite way. So check it out, legal expense. It's called legal expense. That's what you're supposed to call it. Mr. Trump, you get indicted on that. Nobody's ever seen it. Nobody has ever seen anything like it. So thank you very much for coming. I'm now going to sit down for many hours. I am now going to sit down. The voters understand it. All you have to do is look at the polls. This is a sham trial, and the judge should recuse himself.
I love how Trump confesses while defending himself. These were legal expenses. Let me see, rent, electricity, water, pay off a porn star. Oh, and Michael Cohen and a few others who were in the middle of this, they might have something to say.
If anyone knows how Donald Trump speaks in code, it's me.
The big question, of course, is will Trump testify? He says he will, but don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, I would testify, absolutely. It's a scam.
Oh, and finally, Trump might ask for a day off the trial to attend Barron's graduation, which sounds sweet, except Fat Donnie has no idea who that kid is. For the record, Trump did, however, attend Eric and Junior's graduations. Well, he was there when the GEDs came in the mail. All funny aside, Trump has proven that he will threaten anyone who gets in his way. And after he loses in the fall, he will be headed to a federal prison where his next big concern will be, can the Secret Service shower with him?
I could be a friend to you.
Who's with me?
Hi, what's up?
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, right.
Tick-tock.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
Thank you so much for watching. You know, YouTube frequently penalizes my videos for taking on controversial subjects, hurting our ability to earn ad revenue, which we use to hire more hosts and make more videos. We think it's so important to make these videos now and expose a Republican cult. So please join us on Patreon. The link is in the comments. We literally can't make these without you. Thank you so much. For Really American Media,
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.